This gets a bit weird when you think about it, but it's S&M. It's sales.
Yeah, that's not real. When I think S&M, I think Greg Gagne.
Kellogg's, good morning, the best to you each morning. K-E-double-L-O double good Kellogg's, best to you.
Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever, I am joined to my left by
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger, Jack Chance.
Hello.
I am joined to my right by the embodiment of snap, crackle and pop. It is Sam Chance.
Hello.
And I am your host,
The wee toes man.
Ben Chance. I can't top that. If that gives you an idea, it won't, because you have never, ever in your wildest mind conceived what we are about to watch. We are checking out the last
Greg
day.
Gagne has picked up. I booked it. And you're proud of this?
We're in the last days of the AWA in 1989. We're checking out two shows which you can find on the
Had
network.
another 2 years.
Yeah, it did. We're checking out the Breakfast Cereal Brawl, which is as bizarre. Well, it's not. It's not as bizarre as you are now thinking. If you watch it, it's way more than that.
Well, you've heard Greg Gagne, obviously, on his shoots, which is full of bullshit.
Yeah.
But did you hear the one where he said in 91 they nearly got Hogan to come back?
Yeah. I've heard
Did he
him
watch
say
this
that,
breakfast
yeah.
series? He goes, well, I'm with the other guys, brother.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what he wanted was no crowd at all.
Fuck off. You ain't
Have a
here.
word.
Come on, Greg.
And yes, we're also checking out the pilot TV episode for the Team Challenge series, which has up-to-date technology to bring you and me, the audience, right up to the action. More on that later.
It's the Thunderdome. This would have done well in the COVID.
Jesus. So the last official show of AWA didn't actually close until 1991, but the last official show of AWA ran on August the 11th, 1990. Because I think Vern was fighting the government over his house around.
No, he was on the front. I wrestle, yeah. Take him back,
The number one.
There's a crazy old man on his front garden.
The number ones are almost as bizarre as the show we're about to watch, because in the UK it was Partners in Crime. Do you know what Partners in Crime sang? Crime with a K. It was Turtle Power. It was Turtle Power by Partners in Crime.
Vanilla Rice.
No.
Or did either the other one?
He might have done Asian thing. I'm sure.
Or did either Ooze won the second?
Didn't Prince do Batman? or
He did
something?
Batman, yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? 1990 was just fucking weird for music. We just decided we've had enough of musicians. The US.
It's all dance music.
The US went with Vision by Mariah Carey, which is the ballad. I'm assuming it's a ballad. I'm assuming it's a ballad, and I'm assuming there's choir.
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming it was great.
In Canada was Across the River by Bruce Hornsby and The Rage.
Are you the train man?
Yeah, Bruce Hornsby and his Train. Never heard it. It'll be playing now, and it'll be the first time I've ever heard it. But, of course, here comes the Aussies.
Now let us down.
Because it is. You can't touch this. By MC Hammer.
Still.
Of course it was. It's Australia. Came out in the 70s.
Keep up.
It's fucking bad. They all had their flares. That's how it was done. The box office. The box office did have a wrestling link, because it is Gremlins 2, which features half-time Hogan coming in.
There's two versions. There's one with him and one with, I think, John Wayne. who was the Hogan, the next John Wayne, according to Hogan.
No,
he just went in Gremlins too.
Is that right? I didn't know they'd filmed a different one with John Wayne.
Yeah, there's two different versions.
Why did they have a backup plan? Hogan?
Well, you have to, you know. It might not work, can it?
I think
I'm
Hogan
not putting over the Gremlins, brother.
I think Hogan was the backup.
Well, again, quite apt with the UK number one. The game release on the Game Boy was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Fall of the Foot Soldiers, which I thought was brought about by the guy who does the British guy who does
the Kellogg's
promo, yeah.
The Kellogg's British
the
brand.
fall of the General Mills. West Bromwich Albion never win on a podcast. Of course, we opened the season with a 1-1 draw at Portsmouth, whilst Liverpool were duelling it out with Manchester United over the Charity Shield. And as was the case at the time, they settled it on a draw and they shared it.
You'll get off, Harlan.
Yeah, we'll have it on a Tuesday, you have it on a Thursday. It's stupid. But yes, they drew 1-1 with Manchester United. So the AWA then. Right. So they'd hit hard times, baby, by the late 80s. Nearly all of its stars had disappeared and it was desperate for new eyes and new ideas and for new sponsorship money. And in May 1989, they partnered up with Kellogg's. Kellogg's basically said, "We're not sponsoring you, but we will sponsor a show." So a hotel. They did this show. So the concept is a wrestling show themed around Kellogg's cereal, which was conceived by Kellogg's, and the show would take place at the Hyatt Hotel in Minnesota. The AWA would represent various Kellogg properties as babyfaces, and kindly, they tell you that they're babyfaces.
Good guys.
Good guys. Bad guys.
What if you heard the story about the Kellogg brothers and stuff and what? It's all weird. Because they initially made cornflakes because they thought it would stop people masturbating.
Okay,
that's a true story.
Yeah, because I think they am very religious.
Yeah, they was really religious, and that's what they said. Yeah,
Who's tossing off with cornflakes?
no, you was meant to eat it to stop it because they worked in like a sanitarium.
No, but I thought it was because of the rustle. I thought it was because of the rustle
of making mattresses out.
Was everybody having a wank with the cereal in their hand in America? What are you doing, you Yanks?
Look you idiots. This week, maybe that's where it stopped crackling pop. I don't know. But yeah, that was all it's weird. That was like very nothing religious. And it's sanitariums.
Well, let's face it. If you didn't think Kellogg's were crazy, we're about to show you they fucking are.
Better even more.
Yeah. And the heels in this are representing General Mills, which is the rival
is that
to
Nestle?
It's
Nestle. Or
I don't think it is Nestle. I think they are called General Mills, but they still make they still make like Cheerios and things like that. Wheaties, yeah. Michael Jordan, you bastard. Yes. So our show opens with Larry Nelson next to a gold cup. He builds up tonight's event as the grapplers of Kellogg's take on the tough guys of General Mills in the showdown of the century. We have 4 grueling events tonight, we're told. The national anthem is sang first in front of a rabid crowd of Kellogg's sales representatives. There's about, say, 100 there. They all look up at Old Glory. In fairness to the woman, he's not terrible and it gets a nice reaction. He's very American. So we'll leave it at that.
Why did this need the national anthem?
One of them's British. Why does he give a shit? Here we got our Google for a bit.
Yeah. You Yanks and mad weird. You ain't gonna sing it every day, you know.
We're told.
We don't.
We're told.
We don't know.
We're told we will see 4 no holds bouts, which is not a good
no holds bouts.
That's what he said. No holds bouts. And yet all holds are barred by the looks of this match. Kellogg's versus the nasty General Mills. And then our judges. I love this. From Central Zone, Bud Morgan. So this big fat sales bloke in the crowd goes, "Whoop, that's me, all right, mate."
Hello.
From Western Zone, it's Ronald Z. Herder. And then from the Aztec zone, it's Ben Euro.
Crystal Maze.
Well, that one,
Richard O'Brien.
yeah, I was expecting fucking from fucking Chemical Zone, Sonic the Hedgehog. Fucking
At
hell.
the end of the drop all the paper, you have to get the gold ones. That's a Kellogg done it.
So our first match is the Melee in Minneapolis, and the bad boy of breakfast cereal is out. It's Total the Terrible, or as we know him, Mike Enos.
He's not Von Wagner's dad, is he? It's the other one.
He walks out with a box of Total, to huge
I got very
booze.
confused at this point because obviously you put it on and I watched it, and I looked at it. I thought because it had Colonel De Beers and he was there, and I thought, and these pictures in the wrong order because of the matches coming up. I thought, what the
Oh yeah, because they all
But they
come
just
out,
introduced the
yeah.
whole
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
and then they go, "All right, bugger off now." We got the Tim from marketing in, cut a promo with his notes for about half hour.
Representing the Kellogg's team is Nutri Rockney. I mean, what a terrible name. And he is Tommy Jammer.
Tommy Jammer.
More on him later.
More on the Jammer later.
That's our first match. The second
Jammer.
match. The second match is the Terror in the Twin Cities, as Hondo the Haymaker is out in a golden robe,
Honeybee.
and he is Wayne Bloom. Yeah, so Hondo the Honeybee Haymaker. There's a lot of H's there. Vince would love
Triple
that.
H.
This was a moment where Dad came into the room and sat down and saw that and went, Hondo the Haymaker. And he buggered off. Yeah, I mean, it's Kellogg's. They sell to him.
He's fighting Mr.
That don't have cereal, does it?
This match is fighting Mr. Opportunity, who is out to represent Kellogg's. It's Derek Dukes, if anyone
Yeah.
cares. The third match is the Brawl near St. Paul.
Not quite.
It's a terrible name. You just call it the Brawl in St. Paul. No one cares. I mean,
Well, you don't know
at
where
one
you-
point, the bloke basically tells you he doesn't care in his promo, which we'll get to later on. No one gives a fuck. The General is out. He's the leader of the Mills. He is also the Colonel. He's Colonel De Beers.
Colonel De Beers.
But he's the General because obviously he's General Mills. He shows how heel he is because he's bought out a box of cornflakes and he's dropping a fucking elbow on that. Lots of booze.
The Colonel.
From considering what I said earlier, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Well, the boy of the podcast, let's face it, he is about to arrive.
Oh,
Dr. K arrives.
Wahoo!
He is 99% gammon. It is Wahoo McFatman. He is fucking brilliant. And he is
He does look like a
so old.
slab
It's
of
untrue.
pork,
I
don't
can't
he?
believe that Vern carted Wahoo out for this.
Should have been him. Should have been Vern.
Yeah.
Should have been Vern.
Dr. K.
Dr.
Vern
K.
in his pants.
He's so old, and he's got massive pants, massive pants. And then our final bout is the Royal in the Oil. Fuck's sake, for the trophy. It's a tag team match. It's the Mills brothers, they're the heels. They're not brothers.
It's the
I tell you,
Orient
they're not fucking brothers. One of them's Japanese, mate. It's Brad Tanaka and
Paul.
Paul Diamond, the Orient Express. Fucking
The
beautiful.
bad company, was it? It's
Bad company,
Yeah.
because they did have DDP. Who
I like him. I like him, but I don't understand. I thought, well, later on, Paul Diamond becomes a heel, which is weird. But
Well, I don't know what happened.
yeah. But
Pat
yeah.
Tanaka's in the Fed.
I do like the Orient Express anyway. I think they're a really good team, and they're going up against the aptly named. This gets a bit weird when you think about it, but it's S&M. It's sales.
Yeah, that's not real.
When I think S&M, I think Greg Garden.
Sales and marketing.
Oh, what a win. Oh, no, when I think Greg Garden did. G&L.
It's Greg Gagne and Tom
50
Lee.
Shades of Greg.
That's just his hair.
Well, you got Greg Garden, you got Greg
Oh
Valentine.
dear.
That's it.
See, 50 Shades of Greg is a podcast.
Yeah.
If we can find 50 Greg matches, we're in here.
But
Don't all be in anyway.
just get 25 Greg Garden, 25 Greg Valentine, and
Yeah.
you've sorted.
Amazing.
No other Greg.
Scott Richards, a guy from Kellogg's, is our announcer. He riles up the corporate team. Jesus
with
Christ.
his card now.
They're mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore.
It's fucking cereal. Calm down.
What a company away day. Where are you? He says, where are you, Mike? And someone goes, here.
Mike Teal! Where you at, Mike?
Here!
You make the bet.
Let's be having you. Do you want to sell this? You're Kellogg, what are you selling somebody else's product?
Amazing. In your face, General. The greatest sales team ever are going to take them down. Honey Nut Cheerios, move over. That's tossed out. Get rid of that.
He goes, Honey Nut Cheerios, we're going to have ours, but honey. It's the same. It's the same.
Well, he says it there. He says, Honey Nut Cheerios, move over. Here's ours. It's
Okay, Honey Nut Cheerios. Move over. You want to sell this product? No! It's empty. Move over. Here comes Nut and Honey Crunchers!
Honey Crunchos.
You're the heels.
Amazing. Total Raisin.
You're
Total Raisin. Boo. Move over. We got good raisin.
Good
Raisin Totals.
Piss off.
We're going to fight these guys. We're going to fight them in the supermarket. Where's Don Scott? We're going to fight them on the loading docks. Okay? We're going to fight them in the research labs. We're going to fight these guys on TV. We're going to fight them on the printed page. And I got to tell you, we're going to fight them till hell freezes over. And when that happens, we're going to fight them on the ice.
They're going to fight them in the supermarket. They're going to fight them on the loading dock. They're going to fight them in the research lab. We're going to fight them on the TV, on the printing page. We're going to fight them till hell freezes over. And then we're going to fight them on the ice. It's like, what a man. I want to work for Kellogg's.
I
no. I want to work for General Mills.
I prefer General Mills after this show, but I would just like to go into the dressing room at this point. It's like the fucking destruction crew on them sitting there going, what the fuck are you on? What are we doing?
You know, Greg Gagne's loving it though.
We better be fucking paid for this.
We're back.
He even got to the best. He gets the next box. This is a box of Wheaties.
Oh.
It's got Michael Jordan on the front. He says, I used to like Michael Jordan.
Who's that guy?
Not anymore. And then he stomps on it. And then he gets a box of Kicks.
He loves Kicks.
Kicks, it's K-I-X. I'm assuming it's a breakfast cereal in America. He says that, you know what that's good for. He lays it in the ring. And he kicks it. Yay! What a boy. What a boy. We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. What a way to start. 60 minutes into this show.
This will give you some ideas if y'all are ever going to do like a corporate thing.
It's just beautiful.
Just get some wrestling promotion to do it.
I mean, it's just amazing.
Who's your rival?
I don't know. General Mills, I think.
Everybody hates General Mills.
So our first match, which has already been announced, so we get a repeat of the ring walks. It's
This got very confusing.
Total the Terrible versus Nutri Rockney.
That didn't clear the cereal out from the ring, though, did they? You got to wrestle on them Cocoa Pops.
They absolutely hate the heel Total. Total is a heel. He takes the old ladies across. That's what so Larry Nelson is providing commentary to everyone. And his commentaries, he says that Total is a heel. He takes old ladies across busy streets, and I thought, well,
he's banned from Michigan for taking
old ladies across busy streets. But I thought, well, that's nice of him, isn't it?
Well, he must just leave them on it.
Or he throws them in his face.
Yeah. They don't want to go over the road. They've got to get back there. He runs off with his cereal.
God, if I went for Kellogg's, I would purposely cheer for the heel.
Woman
Come on!
Friggin' Bo Beverly.
Not fucking Blake.
Fucking Blake with your big moustache, fuck off. Bells out.
Wait till the promo we see in the next one for them.
I love that Tommy Jam always showed one wrestling match ever because he wrestles it twice on this, what we're about to watch. So there's a Total does his arm drag, and then he does a hip toss, and then he does a body slam. So Nutri does an arm drag. He does an arm drag. He does a hip toss, and he does a body slam. But just to prove that his dominance, he does a drop kick. Yes.
He paused it and looked at the bottom of his combination and then did it. I could do a dropkick, right?
Yeah, big back body drop out the corner, big clothesline gets a 2, running power slam for a 2. There's a massive leg drop as the sales team cheer away. Big splash by Nutri, and it is over. The competitors get out of the ring very quickly because we need to move on to more sales shit.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's hard. It's really hard, this podcast, to decide bad matches from good, because none of them are terrible, but none of them are any real of any real note.
It's just what it was.
It's like very basic.
Watching it, you feel like you was actually part of that company. You was meant to go somewhere you didn't want to go to.
Yeah.
You're watching something if you're a wrestling fan, it's like, okay, let's wrestle, and then it's like, oh, it's AWA. And then it's like, you're probably just mentally checked out, waiting for food to
You're
go
just
up.
waiting
That's
for the Kellogg's man to say, go get the guitar.
Oh, God, no. Now,
love all day we have.
I've been on these kind of corporate shite before. Jesus wept.
Anyone got anything to complain about or particularly write home about that very basic, nothing to remember match?
I don't like Mike Innes's jocks because they look ill-fitting to him.
Well,
I think it's just to fit the total gimmick.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
think he's
thought
gone out
initially.
and got someone's big
Light
blue pants.
blue.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought maybe, okay, them dressed, because all the faces are dressed in red for the
Yeah.
Kellogg's, and I thought, okay, the heels probably dressed in blue. Until I saw Mike Innes's tag partner, it was clearly like, I'm still wrestling in the gimmick.
Well, I think it's because he's the BA, so he has to.
Yeah.
Well, he still looked like he wore his destruction crew stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Going overboard.
Yeah, it was the commentary distracted me, so I forgot that it was over the tannoy.
And the other thing as well is they announced that it's 8 minutes, so they've either fucked it from
They
lying or
lie. They lie. I mean, I can't rule out that it's a really good edit job and that
Yeah.
we missed something. But I don't think they work more than I mean, I
can't believe they work the
counted the minutes. We actually watched 13 minutes of in-ring wrestling across the 4 matches.
That's enough.
Yeah,
I thought
I mean
you
that
meant
one.
15 minutes of that first
That one, they
round.
announced it as an 8-minute match, and I think it got to about 2.5.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous. One of them, they say we've reached the 10-minute mark. He's only getting in the ring. Fuck. Right, oh shit, here's more salespeople. This guy is English. Jack, tell me his name, so make a note of it.
It's Tim Mowbray, I think, or Bob's knee, or something like
No,
that.
Tim Mowbray then. He gives
The
a speech. He gives a speech at this podium, which has got like a flag behind it, and it's very questionable. This podium.
He just needs a moustache.
Yeah, he does just
It's
need a
weird
little
that
moustache.
British bloke doing this.
Yeah,
so
it is. He's mad as hell, and then
he does look very Aryan, though, don't he?
Yeah, well, he says he is besmirched by the competitors putting down the Kellogg's brand, and it's war, and he's going to tell us his war plan. So basically, I'm not going to go over it verbatim, but they're going to focus on their brand, is what he says. But also, we're just going to be pricks because we're going to flood the marketplace with cereal, which is exactly the same as the cereal that our competitors have got. And we're going to undercut them, and we're just going to kill off brands one by one by one. I mean, what a prick!
So basically, just hang on, that's with copyright.
It's definitely the David Mitchell bit of, are we the bad guys?
Yeah.
Thinking that.
Kellogg's, it's like WWE whenever they try and play, oh, you know, they've done this to us. Because Kellogg's is clearly the biggest brand.
Yeah.
But they're like, you know, how dare these little people,
General
brands, try and hold it on our turf.
It's amazing. They're going to clobber the enemy. They're going to sell products that sound a little bit like their competitors. They're going to they're
I'm sure
trying
there's a
to.
lawsuit there somewhere.
He says they're going to knock them off the shelves, and that. And then he says it's going to be as predictable as one of these, and I think he doesn't want to offend.
Frankly, in the past, our programs have been as predictable as the outcome of one of these joke wrestling matches.
But he just thinks, fuck it, I don't care. One of these joke wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Vern all of a sudden just stopped smiling.
Vern would have stretched him out. the
On a
bastard.
heel.
Yeah.
If you work for Kellogg's, you would hate him. He's obviously one of them bosses that you think, what a cunt.
He's a drone,
Oh, he's such a drone.
One of them drones.
Fucking
New
nigger.
strategy of surprise.
Oh, God, he's here. Oh, God.
I've got to admit, out of the three talkers, he's probably the best talker, but he is an utter prick.
Look at where you are, right? Don't take it serious. Wahoo is Dr. K. There's a bloke dressed as Honeybee. Why have you took it so serious? Save it for the boardroom with your other jack-off mate.
That's the problem. It's that type of management that want everybody to turn up. But you can clear, if they'd have gone in the crowd, half of them would be like, oh, God. Just like I was watching. He's like,
Some of the Americans love.
Yeah, well, obviously it's American. It's a good job this wore a British brand, because half of them probably would have gone for a piss. Going, hey, up, he's on. I need the bar bugger off.
Send out a Power Ranger would be over here.
Yeah, but still, you know, it's like if any corporate, like, if they had the proper ones who work in the supermarkets or work for him and shit, and they're like, I hate this job, but I'm only doing it because it's the job I've got.
Pay the bills.
They would be there going, shut up, we don't care.
It's balmy. I mean, it's really, really, really
Where's
weird
Bill
that Kellogg's haven't had a word with the network and said, just cut the bullshit out, will you? Just like you
you know, sponsor all.
What was that cinnamon batch that Ray Dominic? What brand was
Cinnamon
that?
Toast Crunch.
Was that Mills?
General
General Mills?
Yeah.
The one the wall.
Yeah. I think actually their share prices is bigger than Kellogg's. It's just that Kellogg's is the brand name,
It's
like everyone
good,
knows them. Yeah. Anyway, after a repeat of our ring walk,
green chicken.
Hondo is out. It's the terror in the Twin Cities, whatever that means. So yes,
Minneapolis is called Twin Cities. Isn't it?
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know why it's one city.
Mr. Opportunity puts him in a hammerlock, so Hondo flips out. He complains about a hair pull. Opportunity then escapes a wrist. I've got to call him Opportunity. He's fucking mad. He escapes a wrist lock.
He was outwore it. Someone outwore.
No,
No,
Mr.
Mr.
Opportunity.
Oh, okay. Because on the network it was out. Because I'm looking down as out. Go back to
Mr.
You carry on.
You can't call him Mr. Fucking Out.
When I'm more fucking out.
Motherfucking hell, who better leave that cereal in the back?
No.
Oh,
Now
dear.
go back to me.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Opportunity. Anyway, Mr. Opportunity escapes a wrist lock with the drop toe hold, and we get more complaints from Hondo, who's playing mega heel.
No, see? Here. Mr. Opportunity.
He's Opportunity. That's amazing.
Opportunity.
That's worse.
Oh, well, I'll take it back. I'm going to call him Out from now on. A side headlock, which lasts for a good 2 minutes, as Hondo plays heel with a distract and ambush tactics. There's a massive hip toss by Out, and Hondo uses the hair, but he's hit with a crossbody for a 2. Hondo chokes, as we're told 8 minutes has gone. Absolute bollocks. There's been about 3 minutes gone. Big slam, and Hondo goes high. He uses the cereal box, and at least Mr. Out goes, well, how are you selling that? So he now sells it. There's a big backdrop out the corner, super kick, and a top rope shoulder tackle, which gets Mr. Out the win. It was the better of the 2 matches so far, I will say. It was the longer of the 2 as well, but I thought Mr. Out worked better as a babyface than Tony Jammer or whatever his name was.
Tony Jammer.
Out did well, and the B was vocal at least, so he worked
he
the
worked
room.
that hill,
He knew where he was, which is a pretty shit place. So he worked the room very well. So and he's the dad of Von Wagner, so what a man. It was fine, but I'll never remember it.
I just put nothing special. Cereal everywhere. Fucking everywhere. They don't even clean.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? I mean, how bad was the next speech that it was cut? Because something was cut from this. Because there was literally, you could see where there was a cut.
Oh dear.
So there was
he probably went to
I mean, how bad was that?
He's on about masturbation again. Who let Bill talk? We don't want those people masturbating. He's one of them higher ups that is clearly mental and we just went, right, I'm on the floor, I'll say what I want. General
General Bill. They're all having a wank. We've got to stop it.
Before it's too late.
Oh, you absolute madmen. You are the heels. I hate Kellogg's from now on.
I think I went off cereal for ages, wasn't it?
This next match is the only bit where I might have joined him just for the man that represents.
Well, you can't shear the general.
Yeah.
He's out, he gets some heel heat, and then Dr. K walks out. Fat old McDaniel.
You've had too much cereal.
I love that the general went, look, I'll work it, but I'm staying in gym.
Yeah. If I'm going to be on this show, I ain't changing my gimmick.
I ain't a Wheatie, alright?
Oh dear.
I prefer being a racist South African to anything to do with cereal.
Oh dear.
Come on, De Beers, what you doing?
I've got a feeling this match might be slow. They hook up, and Wahoo comes out with a
So
slap.
slow, Australia finally saw it.
He slaps General's chest, and then there's a massive chop to take down General. Kay works the arm, and then he does use the hair, but the Kellogg's team ain't get a grass on him. There's a big knee to a very large gut, and then the doctor receives some big stomps from the General. General gives the sales team the gun shows as he runs the face of Kay on the top rope, and then Dr. K fights back with a chop to the face and a few face plants in the corner. Kay uses the moustache, and the General flops to the outside. Kay misses a elbow, pokes the eye of the General. General and Kay trade punches and chops. There's a ref bump. What the fuck?
Amazing.
Kay gets Kay gets the visual win. As then General takes out what we're told is a foreign object from the box. We don't see it.
Was it a little toy?
Should have been. That should have been the gimmick. It should have been a toy.
It should have been like cheap, so it fell apart.
Yeah,
General Bill.
Yeah, exactly. A rubbish toy. There's a big slam, and he absolutely waffles Dr. K. He goes to the top rope, but heel sales and marketing team, definitely heels are out. They push off. Yeah, they push off the General, hit a double drop kick. Dr. K clocks the General and covers for the win. And I've just put, what a bunch of heels. I mean,
there's definitely a babyface sales and marketing person in the crowd who turns and goes, we can't cheer that. We've just basically said we're going to cheat to beat General Mills.
Well, you heard the British bloke who was basically saying that.
It should have been one of the stooge salespeople stops the General getting the fucking foreign object, and then it gets back. That's the only way. You can't get the fucking... I think we probably care too much about this.
Oh, no. You can't do it that way. I'd have been disgusted and I'd have handed in my resignation there to Dr. K.
I do not believe in sales and marketing anymore. I'm going to sell.
I would have purposely got one of this breakfast from Mills and ate it in front of him. Yeah, you bastard. How much I care for
if you just start eating that in that room, it would have been like the end of Indiana Jones, and they'd have all melted. They wouldn't have known how to cope.
Don't look.
Again, it was nothing too offensive, but he was very punch and kicky in terms of the match itself. But the ending really ruined this as a match. Yeah.
I thought them two tried the best, Dr. K and General. They can't. I'm not phoning in. I'm going to try with this.
I'd agree
and then they really flopped it with the finish. I can't believe that they had to sit there and go over a ref bump with like a ref in the back.
How much did the ref get paid?
So that's nothing thing, just win with a chop. God's sake. And Kellogg's come off as heels.
Yeah, heel
in their own show.
You booked this show and you're the heels. You clearly have the horrible.
I love the fact that that's what we get out of it. Kellogg's a heel.
I just take Kellogg's there. I prefer toast.
Have you got a feeling that Kellogg's might somehow come across this?
I would have loved if the next bloke went to war on toast. We must do it for you, toast.
They can't go over the full English.
We're going to we're going to corner the market on the full English.
We're going to have a new type of toast. It's warm bread.
Would have been a hell of a main event though if it was sales and marketing versus black pudding and
black pudding and mushrooms.
That would have been definitely done poorly.
I think Bacon would have to go over.
I can imagine what black pudding would have looked like. We would have all regretted it.
Oh, God.
Running from bacon.
I don't want to know what the sausage is going to look
But
like.
don't worry, black pudding. Triple H will definitely put you in the Hall of Fame. You'll be all right. Sam, thoughts on this awkward
I
slot?
don't know. By this point, I was just kind of numb to everything by this. And I did slowly start to hate Kellogg.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mike Simpson is out. He roots for Dr. K. Let's hear it for Dr. K. Hooking yeah.
And this where the general come down about enough.
I think the general's just had enough.
Give me my money. Stop for me before they pocket. Give me my money.
They're here to punch the general, and but actually he's not.
Bugger off.
He's not going to.
Bugger off up your own end.
He's not going to call him general anymore. They're going to call him private.
Oh, God. Come on,
So he dumps.
well.
He dumps General Mills. Private Mills.
Oh, fuck.
And basically, he's there. He must be the money man, and to get them to whoop, he goes, "I'm putting another 60 million in." Hooray!
How much of that will we see?
Here's the Mills brothers.
And to do that, you've all left your job.
I'm putting another 60 million in to pay Greg Gagne.
Oh, God.
It's probably the best promo out of the.
He gets it a little bit more.
He just gets in, delivers his line, and gets.
And he
I
gets the
think
fact
he wants.
that
I think he wants a job.
rather than saying, "Well, this is a joke,"
Yeah.
he goes, let's hear it for the bad guys, let's hear it for the good guys, that sort of stuff. Right, it's the main event.
Bloody hell.
It's the Royal in the Isles, or otherwise known as the Supermarket Sweep match. It is the Mills.
Where's Daniel win?
He would not put up with this all day.
I'm not having this.
Sort this shit out.
Not in my supermarket. I'm going with own brand cereal. What you
running with a big inflatable banana.
That'd be a big spoon.
Check it out.
That's what the In Your Space trophy should have been. It should have been a big banana.
Why would you have a banana?
It would have been so apt. So at the end, Greg is holding up a giant banana.
Now worry, WWE.
We're coming for you.
I wish Vincent had seen this when he was on top. This is in 1990. This is just after SummerSlam 1990. When they're looking at you thinking, what the shit has happened here?
Do you think somebody went, I know we worried about WCW to a degree, but they're falling apart. Shouldn't we look at AWA? You looked at that and went, nah.
You see, guys. I mean, if he'd have watched this as a talent scout, the only person he would have considered is the English bloke.
Proper heel. I want to buy that Kellogg brand.
Fucking heel he is. Oh dear, Greg, he loves this bollocks. He's out with Tom and Tom Zenk and Pat Tanaka start us off. The team of S&M.
Tom Zenk?
Yeah,
that's really the other one.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I don't pay attention.
Yeah. Awful spot as Pat Tanaka trips into Tom Zenk, but they do recover with hip tosses and an atomic drop. Greg is in, but Tanaka avoids a drop kick. The general is out and he attacks Greg. Greg is handed some Kellogg cereal, which he eats.
Power up.
Power up.
It's quite different going from a bog to some cornflakes. This recording.
Oh, God.
I do like that though. At least play into
Yeah.
the bollocks.
He throws it at Pat anyway. The tag is made, but the referee misses it. There's the worst double clothesline you've ever seen done by the Mills brothers. Greg kicks out. Greg fights out of a sleeper with but an eye rake slows him. Paul Diamond locks back in the sleeper just so he can repeat exactly the same spot that we've just done. Greg hits a crossbody, gets a 2 at the 10-minute mark. There wasn't 10 minutes left.
It felt like it though.
When fucking Mike Simpson got in the ring. Hot tag is made and Zenk is in. He does a double noggin to everyone. There's a double Irish whip. There's a double drop kick to send the diamond to the outside, and then a double back drop and a top rope crossbody by Zenk. And it's over. It's done. Again, the Kellogg's team win. And we end. I might as well get to the ending because we're told by Larry Nelson, Kellogg's dominated the whole show.
Of course they did.
They are better than the General Mills, and we hope that General Mills died.
A very slow and painful death.
And basically,
you should have turned it and went, I prefer it.
and basically, any success that Kellogg's cornflakes now have is down to Greg Gagne. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
So we know that. We know Greg Gagne.
I wish Kellogg's died not long after, and we could say, look, it was corrected.
Look at what you did.
Do you think he just whispered like into the ear, like
Vito's brother,
Frosty's brother.
Well, actually, the Frosty's bloke in America was what's his name? Lee Marshall from WCW.
Well, not long after this, they started putting the cockerel on the front. So do you think he went, cockerel brother?
Cock.
And then the bunny's face, not me. Well,
That's what we thought you meant. As a match, it was awful. Again, repeated spots. I felt that they could have done more as a 4 as well. They probably can all work.
Well, 3 and half of Greg.
I mean,
Anybody who gets over with that skull.
I mean, they can all work to an extent. It was fitting of the occasion, though, that even these didn't really put in anywhere close to their A game.
Just a corporate match. My last note is Kellogg. Yeah.
Oh, the meal. But I'll tell you, the Mr. Trick with the trophy, they could have put cereal in it.
Yeah. But the thing is, if WWE had got, not that they would ever do anything like this, if they'd have got involved on this,
they had a Royal Rumble for KFC, don't they?
They had a big fucking cereal box full. Like, they do.
They had that at Mania.
That's what I mean. They get everything in. They ain't stupid. Whereas AWA, just pay us to turn up with it.
Just put them in the ring.
We'll wrestle on
We'll
this.
get Mike Enos some big blue pants. Don't worry. Overall, it is, when they call it like a weird hidden gem, it's got to be the weirdest thing that's on the network.
It's one of the weirdest wrestling shows that's ever happened.
It's bizarre.
It is.
It's not, at this point, there is no third place. They're not even close to being third place.
There's one distant number 2 and a void. Maybe New Japan
They're in an absolute different galaxy to the WWE at this point. The fact that they're being hired for corporate gigs.
It's just really nice that everybody sees that, but Greg and Vern obviously think.
According to Greg, the week after they offer Hogan a contract, have a word. Come on. I mean, come on, Greg. I like you. I do like you. Because you talk absolute bollocks.
But it's entertaining, bollocks, because you clearly know it's crap. And I think I heard a comment, I don't know, I think it was off Dutch Mantel's podcast, and somebody had said, Hogan and Flair talk like the internet doesn't exist. Because they say all this bollocks and you can clearly research it. And go, no, you know.
And
Greg's the same.
Yeah.
He's up there.
I mean, he's wonderful. Greg's got on.
Easy to listen to and easy to hate at the same time.
And he's not a very good worker. Anyway, by October 1989, the crowds got smaller and smaller and smaller. And rather than persist and put on shows in front of small audiences, the decision was made to put them on
Seems
in
like
front.
There's another promotion that might need to learn that lesson at the minute.
They decided to put them on in front of no one. So they put a pilot out there for a wrestling show with no audience. The show being the Team Challenge Series. A series of matches between rival teams in a round-robin sort of league-based system with a very confusing point system. The show would incorporate new technology to bring the home audience into the TV show, we're told. More on that in just a little while.
Oh dear.
Right, so you can find this on the network. It's the Team Challenge Series. I did just say that the Kellogg show might be the most bizarre, but this will give a run for its money.
Well, no, the Kellogg's one's
No, but this is serious. Like, Kellogg's one obviously worked.
Like, you know the one match in the middle of this? That was real. Like,
oh God, yeah.
What the fuck was
I
that?
thought they just sort of cut to some other feed.
I thought it was Euro trash. I didn't. What the hell's going on here?
Who's gone to the nudie bar?
It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, the show. I mean, even the show opening is just bizarre. Really, when you think about it, just think about it in your head. So we open on first of all, Old Glory. Like Old Glory wants nothing to do with you.
We love America.
But they open up with Old Glory flying, and
that will get you over in America. It does.
Well, every day here. They get to Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne, who's sitting in his garden about to be taken by the IRS.
That's what he's got. You've got the government the other side trying to get his house.
That's all he's got left is that tree. That bench.
It's such a joke because they have these scantily clad women chanting AWA, and then it just cuts to old man Greg with a dog going, "Hi, I'm Greg. I'm forgotten. You might remember me from such matches.
You might remember me from such shows as Kellogg to be Greg."
It's such a, like,
and Viagra. Who needs that?
what we're trying to appeal to here, you've got the scantily clad women first, and then Vern with a dog. It's beautiful.
Why?
They would never pick it up.
Absolutely beautiful.
That's one element of this. Like some bloke going, "Oh, where are they? Great? Are they Vern Gagne?"
Hi, I'm Vern Gagne.
I want someone to look at the ratings after this. This was the moment ever where everyone turned up.
You've got no sex.
You don't need cornflakes to stop it. Just put Vern with his dog on.
You know what would be weird if he went the other way? If he went up, that's all Vern.
They want more of the dog, Greg. They want more of the dog, Vern. Right, so Vern Gagne is in his garden with his dog on his lap.
Get up your own end.
He explains how long he's been retired, and then he says how the AWA...
retired?
Well,
who said that?
The AWA is introducing a new era. They're using new technology to bring people into the screen. And then he goes, "I might come out of retirement." Only kidding.
And he stretches the dog.
No, he should have gone, and then just went serious. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and then the next clip should have been him in his giant pants, ready for
in front of the green
wrecking crew.
Hey.
Oh, bless him. Good old Grandad Vern. So we then go to Ralph Strangest, I think his name is, or Strangest, and Greg Gagne, who welcome us to the studio.
Bloody hell, that's one hell of a demotion. You can't even be in the team.
I know. He has suddenly got older, though.
Yeah, he looks really old.
This is 3 months.
His head's got bigger.
Yeah, he does look like he's got a bigger skull. And he's also got a shell suit. He says
it was the 90s. Was it the 90s?
Well, just about.
Just about the 90s.
Everyone is going to feel wrestling like they've never seen it before, is what he says.
Hey, they're going to feel
wrestling like they've never seen it before. Good old Greg. So, yeah,
I think a couple of words got missed there.
The first match is Tommy Jammer.
Jammer.
And he entered. Now, right, so first I've got to try and get this across. So they give you a little style card, like Tommy,
I don't mind that.
with a little signature,
graphic,
and that's all right.
And his stats.
Then he enters, so the best way to describe it is that he's obviously standing in front of a green screen, and either side of what is a runway, it is supposedly the crowd.
Fans.
Yeah. But compared to the size of him, they would be giants. Like, they're fucking massive. And, yeah, that was the point. They
I'm sure one side slows down at one point.
So why do they play it in fast forward? They're really good.
Sorry, Tommy Jammer.
Why
giant woman.
Why couldn't they just have people cheering, though? Like, why does it have to be fast forwarded?
Why don't they just get the extras, the people who are holding the cameras and everything, can you just be fans for this?
Yeah. Well, that would have been better than this awful. I mean, what I put is it looks like an old Jewish family's bar mitzvah.
But that's the thing as well. When they play in the crowd, they like it's arenas full from the past. It's people down the fucking social club.
Oh, why we get to that? I love the social club scenes.
They should have filmed it at the club yesterday.
At one point, they should have just had you there, just queuing at the bar.
No,
What's going on?
I'm going to look to the camera and go,
It's just so, it's 2-3 minutes in it just feels really out of touch.
And I don't believe that if we had watched it in '89, you wouldn't have thought,
That's
what
what
the fuck is that?
Even in '89, you'd have gone, oh, this is old.
This is hard to take for
It's so
89.
terrible. So we enter the arena, and then, like, at least it looked like there was some action going on there when he's entered. Then you suddenly, like, the juxtaposition of going, everything's dark. No one's about. They're just wrestling in a basement. It's awful. There's no audience, and his opponent's already in the ring. I mean, imagine being an undercard for this show. and he's called Tom Burton, and he's fighting Tommy Jammer.
Yeah.
So you've got Tom versus Tom. Bloody hell. So Jammer he's very 90s. He's got a great green shell suit on as well. Burton, God, this match is exactly the match that he wrestled with Mike Heenan. Burton,
Nobody saw that, except for the Kellogg fans.
I know.
The Kellogg workers are going, how
God,
dare you?
Yeah.
You gave us the same shit.
what's happened to Nutri?
This might be fake.
Yeah. Burton throws Jammer away.
Oh, Tim from London branch told us.
He hip tosses him. We get a few shots now of the fans down the local pub. And on the table,
Yay!
that's what I love about this. Like, they could have done anything here. They could have literally showed, like, you know, old 80s arena fans.
I mean, full.
These people down the pub, on the table, big red sauce, big bottle of red sauce, and his sauce, getting a thumbs
They
down.
must have had a partnership with Daddy's sauce.
just went to the Hungry Horse. Somebody waiting for the food.
Somebody having a gabble out there. Looking destruction.
Hey, cheer like you watch each other. Hey,
Amazing.
where's the soup?
Burton body slams, and we get a slap that. Well, this is another piece of technology they've got: the slow motion replay.
What-
Push the button, Burn.
Hit the
Sorry,
button.
hit the button.
That might be happening too.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, you know,
Greg is
in '89 it might have been.
The slow motion was terrible.
Yeah.
They did overdo it. But
Oh
the
yeah,
slow motion was better.
every fucking.
But they've been even slower than the slow motion when Greg's like trying to explain the slam. The slam's happened and they've moved on.
They've really gone.
Look, watch him hit the bat here. It's like the match is finished, Greg.
So Tommy
Like,
Jammer at this point has taken a hip toss and a body slam. So he gives a hip toss and a body slam.
Does he do his drop kick?
No, he doesn't do a drop kick in this
Oh,
point. He knocks him down with a punch. So he misses a punch. He hits an arm drag as a little lady whoops. There's a big power slam, and then he hits a surfer splash because he's a surfer, which I didn't really recognise. And Jammer is our winner. It is. I mean, admittedly, he probably didn't plan that someone in the future would be watching these two matches back to back. I'll give him that credit, but it is exactly
No
the
one's
same
going to
match.
watch me. I'll do the same.
I mean, it is hilariously the same match. And I've got nothing else to say about it. Jack?
Well, I just think if you're doing a pilot, I know that green screen and everything is shit, but you'd start with 2 stars, or you'd start with the Team Challenge series if that's what you're trying to sell. You wouldn't just start with an undercard guy beating the
Then
jobber
you
who don't even get a green screen entrance.
What I don't understand as well is at the end, when they hype up some of the talent that they've still got on their card to come up in future
I've
weeks.
still got in the promotion.
There's miles better talent than
Why don't you
these. You've
use
got
them?
Ox Baker, you've got fucking Kakini, you've got all these people.
Well, Ox Baker's clearly at the end of his career.
He's still
And
Ox.
Kikina-
Miles
still Ox,
better
yeah.
than anything in this.
True, and
You could have just got him out there
at the beginning.
drinking fire and it would have been better.
Yeah.
Like,
Starting a
was in-
riot.
He was in the pub with a saw.
I'd have been there with Ox Baker. I'd have both to him.
Sarge and oh god, this promo as well. They could have
yeah.
edited this promo. Sarge and Baron von Raschke cut
You
a
don't
promo
edit the Baron.
in a blue room. Immediately, the Baron stumbles over his
I
words.
love that.
He's the captain of the Blitzers, the Baron Blitzers. So he's a captain.
Face.
So he puts over his bloke, who's Paul Diamond. He's on his team, and he's going up against Colonel De Beers tonight, who happens to be on the Sarge's Snipers team, even though they're feuding.
Well, a lot of this changes mid-series because Sarge goes to the Fed and it becomes Colonel De Beers' team.
Oh, brilliant! Did they
Later
play him out as like, oh, what a bastard?
Yeah. So they must have done something. Obviously, I didn't.
Yeah, you're going to win the chicken or
Oh,
£1 million. He walked away with a bit of a chance to win £1 million.
It was like a trombone and the one like a big gammon.
Baron says that Paul Diamond will obey, and Sarge dismisses the Baron.
Right,
and at this point, Joe came to pick up Sarah for her hospital appointment, and happened to see the next skit. And I had to explain this to her. What the fuck is going on here? She basically says, "Did they mean to not? Were they trying to get you to believe that they knocked down that building?" And I went, "Yeah." Because they are. Because basically, the destruction crew are announced. They appear.
What a promo.
They cut a very 80s shouty promo about the women or look at their men and they all want them and stuff. But before we get to that, they have sledgehammers and they turn round and they bash.
Be a little trouble.
They bash. I don't even understand how it works. They bash the scenery that's supposed to be miles away in the background, which is of a building. Which then collapses. Two buildings. They are so powerful that even if we believe this is real, they are either giants.
Why do you need a sledgehammer?
Or they're so powerful that just looking towards them and gently hitting towards it knocks down buildings.
Yeah, but I like the fact that the buildings are still up, and then partway through the promo, you just see the building drop. It ain't like they hit it and it dropped. It was like they went there, they killed the promo, and then partway through
I wish they'd have put it on backwards. They'd have gone backwards.
Couldn't they have just done what the Fed did for years and just put a logo of Destruction Crew behind it?
Yeah, of course they could. That's exactly what they could have done. The promo was so inconsequential. It got over what they needed to. We're the dominant team. This is that. I mean,
this is why Vince looked at him and went, Beverly Brothers.
Yes. Well,
let them sledgehammers.
They have got a natural. They have got a natural pompousness. They don't necessarily come across to me as Road Warrior-esque.
They're a decent tag team, middle tag team that you can feed to.
I understand why Vince looked at them and went, "You need to be more pompous." Yeah,
the Steiners loved them because they're bumped.
Exactly. Yeah, they look like it, and even AWA recognise that because I'm putting them with Johnny Valiant, who isn't in the promo, which is bonkers because you got a mouthpiece
in the building.
He's putting up the green screen. Fuck's sake. So,
he should have walked away from the the explosion and the action hero walking away. Johnny Valiant.
He should have in the back, in the distance, on the green screen. You should have seen him walk out the building. I was having a shit in there. Going on?
Put the cones there.
You just killed my house.
The one thing about watching these sort of random shows, though, is you always get like a, well, I don't fucking realise that moment, because in ring runs out Ricky Royce, which is an amazing name, and his tag team partner, Jerry Lynn.
Is this the actual
Jerry Lynn?
Because I looked at him, because I know they did a close-up, and I thought, I ain't sure.
Yeah, it is Jerry Lynn, which is amazing. The crowd in the local fucking village hall, they give him a boo anyway. I
wasn't booing him either. They've gone boo.
Mike Enos bumps Ricky Rice away, and then Valiant jaws to the camera. So we repeat the spot. The camera's all over the place. Rice hip tosses and arm drags down Mean Mike. Jerry Lynn is in. The babyface worked the arm of Mike Enos, who does a really comedy face. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. Which is brilliant. There's a monkey flip by Rice. Bloom is tagged in, but his arm dragged around. Wrist lock, but Bloom grabs the hair of Lynn. Misses a corner avalanche. The slow-mo confirms that he misses the corner avalanche, by the way. Valiant is distracting the ref.
Don't do a slow-mo.
Much to the annoyance of the bingo crew. And then Enos lifts the knee to the spine of Lynn, and they begin to work his back. There's a double back elbow, a shoulder breaker, a massive scoop slam as Lynn is out, and then a top rope doomsday device, and Enos covers for the win for the Destruction Crew. And we're told that they're in the Larry's team, but I assume it can't be within the Team Challenge Series because there's no way Jerry Lynn and Ricky Royce are in the team. So
no, this isn't in the team.
So again, we've got 2 matches in on this Team Challenge Series pilot, and we haven't seen a match in the Team Challenge series.
That annoyed me as well.
What the hell is this?
Just to complete it out, Eric Bischoff tries to an interview with the crew. Eric Bischoff's hair is awful at this point, and
No wonder you died.
yeah. And we miss most of the fucking interview because of the piped in noise that they do.
And now let's hear Eric Bischoff with the promo. Well, that's Johnny Valiant.
Yeah.
Off to you, guys.
Johnny Valiant warns them warns other teams that their move, the Doomsday Device, is outlawed in Hong Kong. That's basically all we got from
Just
that.
Hong Kong. So we're not going to Hong Kong.
So we're not wrestling there.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thanks, Johnny. That was really good.
Absolutely terrible, Johnny Valiant is. Absolutely.
Why don't you say,
awful.
it was
I don't know why
what is it, outlawed in,
I can talk.
like 50 countries or something?
Yeah.
They put it over a bit more instead of just picking one.
The bloke in the main event of this show definitely needs a mouthpiece, I'll tell you that much. I mean, we hear enough of him to know he needs a mouthpiece.
Bloody slaughter.
I actually thought it was probably the standout match, and that's saying a lot, but this podcast has got a dearth of sort of nothingness in terms of matches.
A lot of arm drags.
But for what they did, I think it was a sort of generic sort of squash match, but they did enough to the young high flyers. And I quite like the Destruction Crew as a tag team. I don't think they're bad. They've got good stylisation.
I think they worked in WCW one
Yeah,
point
they did,
on this in 1990.
Oh, around this time as well.
Well, they put them in masks because they were still the AWA tag champs. So they did it to try and not bury the.
Well, they've done
AWA,
good to
but-
themselves in that company.
I wasn't that massively offended by this one, Jack.
No, I thought it was okay. The Destruction Crew were a good team. Jerry Lynn and Ricky Rice was a decent team as well. I thought babyface job the team. I think it went on a little too long for me, and I'm still waiting for the whole hook of the show, which is the Team Challenge series, for God's sake.
Oh, I thought it was
I can
Vern coming out of
imagine you
retirement.
watching
Oh, yeah. Only kidding.
Oh, I do want Vern to turn up. But, that annoys me, but, they do nothing offensive, and it's an okay pay-by-numbers match.
I mean, what happened to Ricky Rice? Or did he just?
I was going to look up what happened with Ricky Rice. He definitely...
Jerry Lynn went on to some because he had the series with 1, 2, 3 Kid Dave.
Yeah, right.
Was it
CWA?
That's it. Yeah, promotion.
CWA was a Canadian promotion, wasn't it?
Yeah. But the Destruction Crew, obviously, you can see there's one of the two companies because they say a company. One of the other two companies will clearly pick them up.
They've still got.
They've got something that just give them a new painter coat or
coat
of paint.
Yeah,
don't paint the coat.
But that was all right. It was nothing special.
Nothing standing.
But this is why when I watched this Team Challenge series, partway through this, I was thinking, is there some other stuff I'm meant to watch that I don't know about that he's not told us?
Nothing fun has happened.
Because it did say Team Challenge series, and I just went, is this part of it?
Yeah, it's weird. It gets even weirder in a minute because, it gets even weirder just in general now. But so next is Rock and Roll and the Beverly Hills Knockouts. But before we get there, Sarge is not happy that the Scum, the Slime, the Maggot, Colonel De Beers is representing him.
And the son, either he turned. I thought, is he turned or is there a camera shift?
I loved it. I wish it just ended on his phone. There was no Colonel De Beers because it was hilarious seeing him just turn away and start talking to the side of the screen.
You.
But he has decided Colonel De Beers, and I don't mind this as a hook. In fairness to him, he's a specialist for throwing people over the top. He's a knob, but I've got to.
He did it to me, and I'm on his team.
And he tells Colonel De Beers not to disgrace him, and points to the side. And they do a double. I don't quite know. They didn't have enough money in the budget for that technology.
Press the button. They hadn't invented that technology.
Too slow to
Colonel
the slow motion slaughter promo.
Colonel appears in front of the then South African flag, and
part of it's missing, but it's a bit of a problematic flag.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah. I bet what's the name would wear it.
Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers.
That'll be the Rhodesia one.
Colonel wants Sarge to go through the staff to talk to him in the future. Yeah, happy about it.
You've got to talk to that British bloke from Kellogg's. Who will they come
Got an
to?
administrator, got a cleaner.
Speak to HR. Send me an email. I don't want to talk to you. Dubious.
You know what? I will say this. I'm surprised the Fed never picked him up because he had something.
I think he looks really old. That's the problem. I think if he was younger looking, Vince might have took it because he can talk. And as much as he is, he works his style.
Oh, it's very 80s style.
WCW could have picked him, particularly at this point. They'd have gone, well,
it's strange that he just sort of existed
in
for a short period of time in the AWA, was quite over, and then disappeared.
Well, he went to
loyal to
the AWF or the UWF, the one with, what's his
the
first
American
name?
Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, he was in that, and he was in the Coke Fiends UWF, what's his name? Herb Yeah, he was in that, because he was the one that had to go at the fact that there was a black ref on one of the shows, and said, I'm not wrestling a match with a black ref. And then he was fighting, what's it, Billy Jack Haynes. Yeah, he was in character, and obviously Billy Jack Haynes, who probably had a conspiracy floating around in his head, then said, no, we're going to have the same ref. Wasn't the same ref, it was just the same white ref.
White people won. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway.
I think the UWF will be back for that, because we've already done it.
No, I've got to be honest, I don't really know how to do this as a podcast. It's very difficult.
Somebody clicked onto Babe Station and just, here it is, Foxy Boxing. Here we go.
Absolute mentalness, this is.
I like the fact that they went to this one specific table with clear
That's what I mean.
With the porn
That's what I like about it, because they pick out, like they go, we've got the young'uns for Sarge later on. Go to the pervert table for this match. Brilliant, that is. Absolutely brilliant. Just Vic Reeves doing that on his bloody leg.
Yeah, the cornflakes.
So we go to
Naked for milk or whatever.
It's brilliant. We go to Foxy Boxing. I don't know how to do it. So basically, there's a shit ton of boxing. They're bikini babes watching a small ring where they're full of they've two women that are boxing, which also have two managers who have characters of some description. The camera, they call her. One of them's called Mustang Sally, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the one who gets involved later.
Yeah. I don't begrudge you not literally having switched off because I didn't know what to do.
I watched it, but I felt a bit dirty. I felt like somebody's going to come and go, right, you.
Well,
I actually thought of you with this. I thought, imagine if Sarah walked in here watching this.
It's wrestling.
It's for the podcast. Right.
Greg is a little pervy, and the boxing is
press
also...
the button, Greg.
I bet he would press the button.
Oh, that one.
The boxing is also terrible. The blonde bomber turns heel and wrestles her opponent halfway through, hitting a suplex. The referee, though, doesn't throw it out. And when we see some awful punches, at one point she gets on top of her and she's missing her by a mile. And even Greg goes, I don't think any of them landed. I'm just thinking, are we supposed to take this serious, Greg? I don't. What?
Is this a Hooters?
So it's Blonde Bomber versus Slaughterhouse Shawn?
Yeah, because I put the name Shawn. I thought this might have been another out. But I just put Shawn v. Bomber.
Shawn v. the Bomber.
But okay, I'll go right.
Slaughterhouse Shawn lays her out on the bell with a sort of roundhouse punch. Jim Davidson, the ref, he knows it very well.
Oh, he'd definitely be the one. He'd be the comedy setting between the rounds, wouldn't he?
Mustang Sally is in It's a Backbreaker. She's the manager, by the way. We do a stupid double down spot, and Slaughterhouse Shawn gets up at the end. Hurrah! Slaughterhouse Shawn, having all the odds stacked against her, has won this match, therefore rendering any storyline that could come out of it absolutely null and void. I don't know what we've just watched.
Is this part of the team challenge?
I've just put what I think that was what gave the points. I think you're right.
Yeah.
What was that?
I actually put, what the hell is this? And next note, AWA is dying.
Backbreaker.
There was a backbreaker in boxing
match. But I don't understand what it is. I don't really get how it fits into the AWA mould of
And they're trying to
we've
get
got
to the TNA.
Colonel De Beers and Baron
Definitely,
Von Raschke and Slaughter are coming up, but here's some tits and ass. And it's like, well, that doesn't fit with the
You can't.
the
Yeah, that
AWA
is so
mold at
jarring.
all. It's such a weird.
At least when
And then
Vince-
even in it, the way it's shot with the camera angle,
When
and
you mean
the
the point
PRA
on.
punches, and
Yeah.
then the refs are standing over Jim Davidson.
You're the
It's
red
only a
ball.
game.
The other women
So
around
weird.
along the
And it's a
Hell
small
shit.
ring when it does the
Just tiny
suplex.
little-
The suplexer has to like tuck everything in.
But why are we doing a suplex if it's a boxing match?
The rules.
Damn it, the rules don't
I
matter.
just looked I looked at this and I felt dirty because I thought I've all clicked on the wrong thing
What?
here.
I think there is a bit cut as well in this show of a rock concert because they go on about this rock thing.
Rock and roll, they call, yeah.
So there must have been like a band song. Which
Which I wouldn't
even
be able
that
to.
feels out of place
Yeah.
with what the AWA is. Just
Then again, we did do the Wrestle Rock Rumble, which
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've in the two records that we've done back to back, we have watched that 8-man clusterfuck, and I don't think it's the most bizarre thing we've seen.
No,
Like, it's just odd.
it's like somebody switched the fit. It's like Greg pressed the wrong button and went onto the wrong channel.
Get off my personal feed. Get off PlayStation, for God's sake, Greg. Right, Greg reminds us that the AWA Tag Team Challenge is happening, and the winning team
It's
gets a nice £1 million out of it. As if you ain't got £1 million in the fucking
Have you
bank.
seen the fucking state of this show, Greg?
You're losing your out.
I
Look
love
at this
this. It's the
promo.
pilot. We get the stand-in. This is a pilot. We get the stand-in. So the table is Larry's team at the top with 16, Baron's team in the middle with 15, and Sarge's team on the bottom with 13.
I love that even in the pilot, they don't even choose the team who's winning.
Two of them losing.
Fucking hell. You got that wrong.
And then this is weird as well.
What a promo.
So Paul Diamond starts cutting a promo in front of like the Earth.
It's just, he ain't got a gimmick. Just put the fucking earth up.
It's got like it's just ever decreasing.
Circle.
Sorry, ever increasing noise of wind. Just like,
So
This is a
weird.
windy man.
it's
So strange.
It's really hard. It's very distracting from what is a very generic "you won't beat me" promo. He just name dropped DDP in the actual.
I thought
promo.
that. And I thought, is he still here or has he gone to WCW?
I
at
would
this
have
point?
thought he'd have gone to WCW.
I couldn't tell you anything of that promo because I try and make notes all the time, but I couldn't get over the fact that he was just cutting a promo in front of Earth.
That's true.
What?
I just heard
What are you trying to
DDP.
do?
All I heard was DDP, and I thought
But
that's
don't
what I was
forget as well, in
thinking.
1990, in March, he's driving the Cadillac, so he might not have gone to WCW. I don't know what happened with DDP.
Then he got out of AWA.
Yeah. He drops
It's
the
so easy
Baron's
to say
catchphrase at the end.
AWA.
He drops the Baron's catchphrase of "That's all the people need to know," which never makes much sense.
They're under
really.
the Earth.
He's also got the nickname Hard Rock because he's Paul Diamond. Do you get it? Hard Rock,
Yeah.
Paul Diamond. Yes. The Colonel.
Now go smoke some crack.
What I like about the Colonel, even though he does take himself very serious, he is very camp. Let's face it.
He is very carry on. He's
Yeah.
like the bloke. What's his name?
Carry on.
Lovely boy, lovely boy, lovely boy.
Yeah, the bloke from
Lovely boy.
Vincent
No,
Davis.
Yeah,
The
I
Welsh
know
bloke.
that one.
Yes, it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is very lovely boy.
Yeah,
lovely boy. I do love Colonel De Beers. He's becoming a slight boy in this.
Oh no.
He's a reserve boy. He's a substitute.
Birthday podcast sorted.
Oh God, go on.
De Beers is head scissors down early on, and the Colonel escapes and stamps down. There's a repeat of the head scissors spot, and then
This is a King
Diamond,
of the Hill match.
It is a King of the Hill. Yes, correct.
Basically, it's a top rope challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I don't particularly mind. At least it gives you a different rule.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Colonel De Beers is seemingly a specialist with this being a heel.
Throwing people over the top.
Yeah. Diamond misses a corner
He
lead.
won one medal, right?
He's almost out. We go to the sort of Royal Rumble spot. The fans from Mecca Bingo look on as a big drop kick by Diamond. Greg tells us Diamond used to be a soccer player. I love that. I mean, get him signed up.
He used to be a defensive midfielder. We fought rapists. They don't, you know.
Yeah, that Vince. If he'd have told Vince that, he wouldn't have had to put the Kato mask on.
No,
He'd have come out as fucking Maradona.
And
And he looks a little bit like Maradona. You can believe it. Massive and impressive top rope
Without the
headbutt.
coke.
The best move on the whole 2 shows we've watched is that headbutt from the top by Colonel De Beers.
Yeah.
Colonel sets up and kicks Diamond, who almost
What's his name? General Bill was punching him off.
Colonel suplexes him back in for reasons, and then we miss it. We miss a second headbutt. Knee lift as Ken's table. Oh yeah, as Ken's table in the bingo hall. They enjoy it. Good old Ken. They've won the raffle. Yeah, he did a bloody knee lift.
I'm gonna
get on the raffle.
I'm gonna gamble, Johnny.
No. Colonel has his face planted, and we get a Somo on that. There's a sloppy bulldog, and then a slingshot into the bottom rope. De Beers celebrates his dastardly deeds as he works down Diamond before trying to throw him over. Diamond skins the cat, so Colonel bites the hand. I like that spot. He survives. Pile driver is set up, but Diamond backdrops the Colonel out and wins. The only thing I will say, and I am being too critical of what is and shouldn't be taken too serious, but it is the Colonel De Beers match. I think he should have won.
Yeah.
Because it is weakening him if he loses in his own match. But I actually think that was probably the best match. I thought they worked okay. And I'm really not comparing with a lot. But it wasn't as awful. I just didn't like the fact that he lost. And also I think Colonel De Beers has a storyline with Sarge.
Yeah.
If he loses, are you going to play up to Sarge kicking him out?
Yeah.
If he wins, you could say that he's, over...
Yeah, I'm better than you.
And I think that's the way I would have gone.
Yeah.
But it is a pilot and nothing matters. Jack.
Well, when you put it like that. No, I agree that Colonel should have gone over, and ultimately it is a babyface team in Slaughters and they're bottom. So he's going down. Going down. Sergeant Snipers. But I think they work well together and they did enough, teasing of throwing him over the top. But I do think De Beers, he could have had a spot where, the ref gets bumped, De Beers goes over and then he gets back in and throws him over.
I agree.
Which would have been better.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did think there could have been more spots with the throwing him over because at the beginning it's like that. It's only because the commentator said, "Oh, it's the King of the Hill," and then it's like, "Is he?"
I think
but then it's like try and lift him over and stuff like
this
that.
is Colonel De Beers, so he's giving you 6 minutes, and that's all you'll get in.
But at least try, throw each other, spin around, stuff like that. But it was okay for what it was. But I agree, Colonel De Beers should have gone over, and I like the ref spot. I think that should have happened with it.
Yeah. Sarge has the Terminator in our main event. That is a thing. It is true. Sarge salutes.
This ain't Bill DeMott, is it? Because I know he went by Crash the Terminator.
Yeah,
when I thought I'll have a look in case.
I thought it was as well, but it definitely. I mean, Bill DeMott never had that area.
Whose team's he on?
The Terminator is the weirdest looking fucker I've ever seen.
I bet he's on Baron's team.
I don't think he's in the team. I don't think
I don't think he is.
He's the one substitute.
Just don't have any points
to the pilot.
Yeah, to the pilot. Sarge does at least put over the green screen by acting like they're real and salutes some of the crowd.
But I do like the fact he salutes one of them and there's a 10-foot fucking tall. But I'm sure at one point there's a big fucking.
I also
he was like looking down.
No,
he didn't realise what was coming.
I like that Sarge just talks away. As a chat to you bastard. I'm gonna fucking beat you up, you bastard.
It seems to have, and this will happen throughout the match. He seems to have more hair here than by the end of the match. Seemed like a lot of his hair disappeared.
Yeah, I wondered if it was a bit of a toupee job.
I don't know if it was toupee. I think it was just like he put all like gel into. He did a Bobby Charlton of it, and then he just went whoop.
I think he looks a little bit strange. If anything, he's just a weird looking. Because he don't look like what he looks like in the WWF.
No.
It's just strange what he looks like at this point.
He's started to get fat.
Yeah.
He's got a just incredible belly, at this point.
It's bigger than that.
He powers out the hairy-backed Terminator, and then Sarge looks like he'd prefer to actually be at the bingo hall trying to win the gammon.
He wants the sword.
There's big forearms of training. Slaughter eventually wins the strength battle with a drop toe hold. A massive crossbody from the ropes. With punch the button, Greg.
Look at the size of that fucker.
I mean, to be fair, it does show how fucking massive he is. I mean, fair play to taking a crossbody. He plays to the crowd that aren't there. And the Terminator also plays to the crowd that aren't there.
Just murdered his dog.
To the invisible crowd.
Terminator tries a slam but fails. He takes 2 slams of his own. He goes for the eyes, punches the belly, a face smash. We go to the kids. I think one of them is yawning at that point as well, which is wonderful. Sarge goes into the ring post as Terminator is on top. There's a big backdrop which gets Sarge back in control. He hits a big drop kick. He misses most of it, but it's supposedly most
Push
of it.
the button, right now.
We can't show that again. He brushed his neck. And a short-armed clothesline is hit, a Brett rope clothesline, and the Cobra clutch. Well, as he locks in the Cobra clutch, they decide to randomly show a replay of the clothesline. I mean, this is the end, you idiots. Terminator is out, and Sarge and the USA win the match.
Evil foreigner Terminator.
Before we end this, we go to Sarge and Eric Bischoff, who interviews. I mean, this has gone 6 minutes. He's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. He's so gassed.
I'm fucked.
And the best thing is, he says, I'm in the best shape of my life.
I'm in the best shape of my life.
You want a commentator at one point to go off to go, you've wrestled 6 minutes, you're out of breath.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
How bad was the rest of your life? Because if this is the best shape...
I could only go 5.
But he is world champ.
Yeah, not long after this.
Amazing.
It's incredible. It is incredible how much charisma Sarge gets, because I like Sarge, don't get me wrong, but he's an awful wrestler, really, in terms of... He's just very, very, very bland.
He's very basic.
That corner spot, though.
Yeah. I like the
the
fact
ring.
that he loses all charisma the moment the bell rings, but he's so charismatic out of it because he plays...
Well, that's
such a
because
good-
when the bell rings, you look at him and you go, oh, wait there, he's just an old man.
He's just an old fat man in camo.
If you replaced him with one from Ken's table as a bingo, you wouldn't really notice the
It's
difference.
surprising what it
G.I. Joe
rattled.
sticker on
Yeah.
him, all right.
I mean, to be honest, I thought it was awful and very slow, very clunky. And to end the pilot with this, I know he is your main babyface.
Yeah.
But it
Not for long.
You cannot.
Just
Bear in
start,
mind, you're
yeah.
trying to convince TV channels to part with money, and on the other channel, you've got Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You're ending with Sergeant Slaughter versus the fucking Terminator, which is basically a generic squash match. It's not a good look. I would have definitely ended it with a Colonel De Beers Diamond match, but yeah, not great.
Oh yeah, I'd have ended it with the actual Team Challenge series. I'd have started the show with Slaughter because he's G.I. Joe.
Yeah, get him out of there.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't know
Some
from
sort of-
looking at him.
He's got some sort of notoriety from that, and he's a notable star.
I mean, the cartoon is in
aren't.
much better shape than the cartoon.
Oh yeah, but most of the others aren't. But at least he's a known name.
Yeah. I
But-
agree with that.
So I know he's got to be on the show, but we get him a better opponent than the Terminator. For God's sake. Just put him against the Beers. Who cares? But it's not a great match. And then his promo don't help him by saying I'm in great shape and I'm absolutely fucked.
Yeah, he's just not in great shape.
But it's an apt end, I think, to that show for him to say I'm in great shape.
I'm pretty sure
sweating profusely.
I'm sure after the pilot he's gone. I'm pretty sure he does go back.
By the 90s, 80s, I think.
He was
Don't
at
forget, this is
SummerSlam
89.
90.
Yeah.
90. So
Yeah. But I think he'd signed for the Fed not long after Mania, but they don't know what to do with him because at that point they was planning on cheeky tugboat. Cheeky tugboat, baby.
And then Slaughter coming in.
Which makes absolutely no sense. What's cheeky tugboat? What the fuck?
Heel boat.
We don't like that boat. We'll have this boat.
Sam?
The only thing for me was just looking how much his hair just disappeared at this point. When I saw it, I thought, I'm sure you had more hair at the beginning of this match. It's like the Kane freeze that they go on, where he gets like bigger hair. It's just like, He's lost half his head. As it goes, it's like, and no wonder Yo left.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's the new AWA. Next week, we promised great wrestling with Yoko and Ox Baker and some masked people.
I'd have preferred that.
Without a doubt, I'd have took that all day long. Overall, I think, look, I get trying to pimp new technology. I don't mind the slower motion action replays. Yeah. It is difficult when you're trying to present an audience that isn't there. So I do get the sort of use of technology. But then in doing it, your stock footage has to be like more interesting than that. Yeah, you've got to try and convince us that it's at home, someone at home watching maybe, or I just think it's terrible. And even back then, I would have thought it was terrible. The Foxy Boxing is a reasonable concept, like Vince when he chose to go Attitude Era. But he had all the Attitude Era gimmicks around it. You have none of those. None of these people should be turned on by the Foxy Boxing.
Well, before it was Colonel De Beers, and after it was Paul Diamond in front of the Earth. And then it's Foxy Boxing in the middle of it, like, what the fuck's going on?
It does look like you've just switched over to another channel.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is...
It don't look like AWA.
No, but crowds make stars. That's what happens when it don't matter how big or small the crowd is. Well, this is the thing. We've seen it where we've watched, shows in front of 2,000 hardcore, but which ones of them have decided who is the star. Yeah. It might be bloody Too Tough Tony or Supreme, but Here, it's impossible to know because you're basically just saying who is the star, and there is no star.
Well, it's similar to the Thunderdome stuff, eh?
No, that's what always made it difficult because you've got nothing to resonate from.
Yeah. Well, you had social media then. Now, here you had
nothing. So to make a star in this era with this concept would have been really difficult. Then when you consider the whole thing is a team, and even then there's some randomness to the team,
heels and baby
but kind of not. Yeah. There's just
you're halfway through. You're picking it up halfway through. Yeah, a fresh new thing for TV. We've already done it for 4 months.
It's just a terrible
league team.
Terrible pilot. I would not. I like wrestling. I would not have picked it up.
I just like that Ben and Greg was probably sat there watching it, and then at the end they went, so what do you think? With a big smile. That's fucking ESPN's good. Oh my god. You're fucking mad. Get out. Throw it away.
I think that's a no. I want to check the headline. Louis Walton.
So,
he'd have loved it.
It's just really bad.
You just don't know what it is.
No,
that's the problem.
I don't know what it. I think it knows what it wants to be. Has absolutely no idea how to compete with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That was the difficulty for Verne. It wasn't the fact that he had a load of talent. But he just could not compete with McMahon.
He couldn't stick with what he was, because if he's stuck with that, eventually he'd have come up. Just deal with it down to it. But when you try... So what WCW did back then? Tried to go too much like what Vince did, because clearly that went up here. But I think you just go down because you look like cheap.
Tried to chase it, it drove away its own hardcore audience that was loyal to it.
Yeah, I mean, it made it difficult, really, because literally anyone who ever got over, they lost Hogan, and they tried to make Hennig the new one, so as soon as he got over, Vince went, well, I'll have him. And that's always difficult.
They went, well, we'll use nails.
They
had him.
Because he had a push.
Yeah. Bernard the Barbarian, all this sort of stuff. He just took pretty much any talent he wanted.
We call you Greg. I'll have to put the tights on myself.
I mean, even Nick Bockwinkle, as soon as Nick Bockwinkle, they tried to get him for $1 Million Man, didn't they, I think?
Yeah, or... I think they did, all the horse, him or Gino and Andy.
And he didn't want to be disloyal to Verne, so didn't go, but retired. It's just brilliant.
He retired, then he went to the Feds as an agent, because Warrior ripped him in the Rumble 89.
I stay with you.
It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So it would hang around for about 18 months. It would have TV for another sort of 12, but it was bad at best. The Team Challenge Series did sort of continue, but it was a massive flop. It did have some weird and wonderful matches, which you might catch on a future podcast. There was a football match where they dressed as fucking American football
To be
stars.
fair, Vince did that in '96 on the first Raw of '96.
He did, which we might see as well. There's a Thanksgiving turkey on a pole match or whatever
With Jack
it
the
was.
Milkman. Fucking hell.
Oh yes, I know about it.
Then they had this one.
Tish
They had
Light.
1 or 2 shows, and instead of the darkened room that they had there, they had this bright pink Barbie room. Like, it was fucking awful.
It was the back room of that Foxy Boxing.
It was awful.
That war used.
And sadly, the AWA would obviously end in 1991 because Vern had no money left once his house was gone.
So he's sick of his dog on the
But it is so sad the way that it ended.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at this
sad.
point, it's like, just get it up, mate.
Yeah.
You know what's
You're
happening.
struggling.
Put the bullet in it.
Yeah.
So we'll put the bullet in it with a round table match of the 2 shows that we've seen.
Paul Diamond v Colonel De Beers.
I'm going to say Paul Diamond.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Worst match?
Well, I mean the whole Kellogg thing is shit, but I ain't gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for. Oh no, I am actually. I'm gonna go for Dr. KV. The General is it too. Well, it's mainly because of the bloody running.
Yeah, I nearly picked that, but I'm going to pick Sarge versus Terminator because it was better in ring than that, but it's just such a bad ending to a pilot.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with a Foxy Boxing match. This is just.
really.
What is this?
It is. I mean, it's so undeserving of this. It just doesn't belong. One of these things do not belong. MVP?
Wayne Bloom.
I put exactly the same way. Only because of Von Wagner. That was the only reason.
Wagner as well, but he tried his best.
He did. I thought he was the best performer on the first show and probably the best on the second.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Mills. Just because on this show, there was meant to look like the bad guys who come in more like the faces.
General
Mills.
MVP is Cheerios. Fucking hell. LVP?
Well, it is Kellogg.
It's Calvin Kellogg.
Or AWA.
No, the AWA, as bad as they come out, Kellogg's are worse.
Oh, yeah,
I would much
yeah.
rather.
Kellogg's look like a cult actor.
Cult of Kellogg?
I don't want to buy Kellogg's anymore. In fact, if we're going in the house, I'm going to elbow.
You put me off cereal. I'm not going to eat breakfast
I've always been
every
a toast man
Up
anyway.
the toast.
Give me black pudding.
But if you feel that Kellogg's is a cult and you want out, please let us know.
Oh, it is.
On our website, which is spectaclecreative.org. Our Facebook page, which is facebook.com.
You've got to get an email from Kellogg.
/BCC pod. I didn't say it was a cult, Jack. Sam did. So send your mail to
Find me on social media. Good luck for you.
and our Twitter, which is @BCC pod. We round out the episode, as we always do, with a fantasy card.
We ain't really booking this.
We couldn't. And as,
of
course, we were looking at breakfast cereals, we have looked at AWA alumni versus something to do with
I've
breakfast.
done all breakfast.
Well, if you've done all breakfast,
I've done part of it, but it's all linked to
Yeah.
I'll just pick somebody.
I don't mind you doing all
I know
breakfast.
6 AWA.
Do all breakfast.
All right.
Crack on.
I'll do that then.
Breakfast. Fancy card.
Breakfast. Never heard the video.
So, Jack, I'll
We
open
call
with
that.
your all breakfast card.
Well, we had the bees earlier, so we'll have some bees in the first match.
Is it the killer one?
No, well, one of them is B. Brian Blair
Probably.
versus Coco Beware. And he can be Coco, possibly,
Yeah,
because
cool.
he's Coco. And I'll put over...
It's going to be very on a thin line there.
well, that's his name. I can't get round that.
Yeah, I know, but you know somebody will start it up.
Fucking name. Get over it. Oh, they name him. Coco Beware will go over anyway,
Yeah.
so you're happier now.
Well, I've got in my first match Nord the Barbarian, obviously representing the alumni of AWA, and he is a boy because he's Nord the Barbarian.
Suplexing somebody on a car.
Versus Coco B Pops and
Coco B Pops?
Coco B Pops in mine, and I'm going to put over Nord because I love Nord.
I'm gonna. My first match is Greg Gagne because he gotta be around.
What
He's
cereal
fighting the
is it?
honey monster. Why not?
The actual Honey Monster.
The honey monster goes over. Look at him.
But
Brilliant.
inside is Vern. And then he beats his
No,
own
he's in
son.
the main event. Spoiler.
Oh. What cereal's Vern? Monster Clown, which is the Honey Monster.
Yeah,
Not Monster.
yeah, cool.
Versus representing Golden Nuggets.
Owen.
Owen Hart.
Great.
Owen Hart goes over.
Mine is Vern and Greg, but just to keep with the theme, one of them is Snap and the other one is Crackle. And they're going up against the New Day, who, of course, they are cereal.
You've stole one of mine.
And I'm putting over Crackle, who is otherwise known as Vern.
Crackling.
Crackling Vern Gagne.
He does look like a bit of a pulp joint there. My next man, Baron Von Raschke.
Yeah.
He came chocolate. Why not?
That's got full just cereal.
Brilliant.
Why not? And it sounds like they'd have a good match.
That would be a beautiful match.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
who
put
the
over
hell
Baron.
would you root for?
The Baron.
Yeah,
That's
go
all the
for the
people
Baron.
need to know.
New Day, they are cereal versus representing Apple Jacks.
Yes.
Is Team Apple, who are
Worthy.
Oh.
Santino,
Jesus Christ.
Brian, all them people. New Day win, obviously it's New Day.
Sherry Martel representing the AWA. She was in the AWA versus Brandy because you got Brandy. I'm putting over Sherry Martel.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Brandon.
My next match, 6-man tag. It's
Sorry.
Colonel De Beers and I've put him as the Beverleys.
Yeah.
But the Destruction Crew be the New Day because of
They are-
Bounty-O's.
They are just
They are just serious. Yeah, I'm going to put over the New Day.
Representing Lucky Charms
Mhm.
is the Leprechaun.
Yep.
Versus representing Reese's Puffs.
Oh,
it's getting a bit like Reese. Don't worry.
Thank God. Is he playing an effeminate character?
He can do. And he will win.
Yeah, of course he will. He's fucking massive.
Reese.
That'll stop the complaints.
Yes. Kurt Hennig.
What the cold Reese's Puffs?
Kurt Hennig.
Could have been what, Sugar Puffs?
Kurt Hennig
Lovely.
dressed as Tony the Tiger
Oh, God.
versus you can't have cereal without the milkman.
Yeah.
So it is Jake the Milkman.
The Milkman.
Millman. And I'm putting over Kurt Hennig.
Mr. Millman's son.
He gets on the podcast again. What a boy.
Oh, dear.
All right.
My next match is Hulk Hogan. Because he was in the AWA.
Yeah.
Versus the Honeybee. Watch the cereal advert. He was in it.
Does he feuds with it?
He feuded with
Hogan
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
the Honeybee
didn't
advert.
order on Cheerios. He was heel.
Was he thin and then he eats them and he gets big? Or something?
No, I think he just eats him. Because I think he don't want to eat him, and then the bee makes him eat him, and he pulls that face, and then bends the spoon. Watch the advert. Weird. I'm putting up the Honeybee.
Good old honeybee.
Hogan out in there. Kicking out.
Way better.
Tony the Tiger is Tiger Mask.
Oh, nice.
Managed by Lee Marshall.
Yeah.
Is
Great.
How does he do his promos when he's got Lee Marshall talking?
versus representing Golden Grahams.
Is it Billy?
It's Billy.
Yeah.
Billy Graham. And Billy Graham will go over.
Don't see them in
Hulkety Hogan representing the AWA versus the Red Rooster because, of course, the rooster is on the front of
Eat
a...
green.
Yeah.
Eat green.
There's a bit red on there, though.
There's a little bit of red.
Well, there's a bit at the top.
Putting over Hogan.
My next match,
What a
Nick
match.
Bockwinkle versus representing Fruity Pebbles, John Cena.
John Cena.
Why not?
Our main event done.
And I'm going to put over Nick Bockwinkle.
I love Bockwinkle. It's amazing.
The Bock.
The Bock.
Bockwinkle.
The Bock. Fruity Pebbles, John Cena versus representing what every cereal needs: milk. Kurt Angle.
Hey! Should have been Bill.
Milkman. And I'll put over Kurt.
Sam and Stole, my main event. It's Nick Bockwinkle versus Fruity Pebbles, John Cena. And I'm going to put over... Well, the cereal's on a losing streak, so I'm going to put over Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, Kellogg's wouldn't have unless they ate Kellogg's.
Right.
Sure. And my main event, It's Vern Gagne versus the Wheat House man. The old man from the Wheat House.
No, not Michael Jordan.
No, that's
Oh,
Wheaties.
Wheaties,
Wheatos is the old scientist man.
Yeah.
Like the bloke from
I
Tekken.
remember him, yeah.
And I'm putting over the Wheatos guy because he comes
Well,
to your
you're
house.
not allowing that.
There's that end of AWA podcast.
We get some weird and wonderful people. At one point, I'm doing a fancy card full of people who've been in fancy cards that have absolutely no reason to be.
Mr. Millman.
You've got Mr. Millman, you've got Apollo, the Greek god. You've got fucking the Wheat House man.
Darter than he
Daryl
Daryl Fitton. This is the most
He'd have
bizarre,
been in AWA.
the most bizarre British way to end a podcast that you will ever
But
find.
you can only use them, not the wrestlers. You can only use them.
That is how we end podcasts. Get on board.
If we all get bored, you're like, right, that's it, we're doing this.
But if you have got any more or different British ways to end a podcast, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. That is the month of March begun, and we have celebrated the death of AWA. So we will now celebrate the death of Vince McMahon. As we look back at the time that Vince McMahon died, we will be looking at the lead up to it, and we might see a little bit of Big Show's bottom. Who knows?
Oh dear.
Big Show's bottom, 400 smile.
We will be looking at the tragic
And it all
events.
ends with a
We're looking at the tragic events that feature Paul London having a smile. And we will be looking at the aftermath, which features the future and previous president of the United States of America. This is wrestling, folks.
Jeez.
Welcome to it. Enjoy
back in
it.
2007 again.
And then we will be back in 1999 as we go to Hardcore Heaven with ECW,
Heaven,
and
my
we
God.
celebrate Big Bubba Ray Dudley randomly getting a title shot for absolutely no reason because he's already fought, and Taz has already fought, and Jerry Lynn and RVD were the main event and should have been the main event, but what happened there?
But then there's Sid.
And then there's Sid. Which is definitely the theme song for that podcast. And then randomly we give Sam the power and he fumbles it because he has picked JCW's Legends Road or whatever it's called.
Legends and something.
Legends Night, I think it's called.
Legends.
Legends and Icons.
Legends and Icons.
There you go.
We will be celebrating
2011.
some absolute diabolical matches in 2011 as Greg Valentine opens with Tito Santana, and we end with Roddy Piper, who was not in good shape in 1994 to end the podcast, ending against Terry Funk.
No, he was in good shape. It was just a shit match.
Well, hopefully we'll have a better one with Mr. Funk, who is obviously a boy podcast in of itself. And we will continue throughout June once I remember what we're doing. But that leads me to say from General Mills, it's Sam Chance.
Goodbye.
And from Kellogg,
Oh no!
sorry, Jack.
I ain't saying goodbye. I'm refusing.
From Toast.
That's fair. That's fair.
Jack,
Goodbye.
goodbye, folks. Up the toast.
General Mills.
Gee, what goodness, what very special goodness in the big G cereal from General Mills.